My name is Alicia Paul, or most people know me by my Indian name, Redrock.
And how did you first get involved with Mary's Place?
I ended up homeless and on the skids, and I had a job injury, and then I got clotheslined off the back of a horse, and my insurance doesn't cover horse accidents. So after a couple of years of trying to work with my back injury, I ended up slithering away to homelessness. It was hard.
And then you found your way to Mary's Place.
Yes, I found my way to Mary's Place. I remember when I was homeless, I actually was going to women's referral, and they would send me to a shelter. And in the morning, I would get up and crawl up Third Avenue from Third and Yesler, and I would crawl up Third Avenue, and then I would crawl up to Fifth and Columbia, if I recollect, where Mary's Place was in the Methodist basement. And I'd crawl up the hill, and halfway up the hill, these ladies would come up and start cheering me on. Dreadlock, you can do it, you can do it, come on, you're going to make it. They were so beautiful.
And what is one of your favorite memories of Mary's Place?
Oh, goodness, working with Susie Henderson. Oh my God, I love her to bits and pieces. She ended up doing a walk with us one time, going up to, I don't know, it was several blocks carrying a cross. And she was elderly, and I had the back injury, so I could barely walk or carry anything. She used to feed me. When I couldn't feed myself, she'd come over, and I would get in trouble because I couldn't carry my trash to the garbage can without spilling it everywhere. Then she would come and pick it up and carry it to the trash for me. So she was telling me, let me be Jesus, let me carry this cross. And when she got tired, I'd come up behind her and sneak up and I'd help her carry that cross until we finished the parade.
That's great. What was your favorite part about the day center?
The day center, the favorite part was being able to have a place to lay down, uh, get some R&R, meet with the ladies and talk. I remember them saying that it was so sad that I didn't know who I was or where I came from. I didn't remember my children. I didn't know their names. I'm still trying to remember their birthdays. But it's I remember helping to represent Mary's Place as a homeless person gave me a little bit of pride and integrity. I was on the 4 bars for the homeless, and I remembered one time Michelle came up and to Mary's Place and asked me to represent the will at the mayor's office. They've been talking about how the mayor wouldn't let him in. The mayor wouldn't let him in. They sit there for hours at the mayor's waiting to see the mayor, and they wouldn't get in. And I went up there the first day, and I'm like, "Can we see the mayor?" And Mayor Nichols was officiating, and he came down and he said, "Well, why don't you all come up?" And we all went up, and he ended up actually donating a kitchen to the basement of the guest room where we're at now.
That's awesome. What do you think about Mary's Place impact in the community? What has that been like over the years?
Oh goodness, it's been a beautiful thing. An impact of Mary's Place being Christian oriented and also just open to any races or any sex orientation, preferably in the feminine form. It's just been a grand experience. I remember one time I was flirting with this man in here, and he looked like a man, and I was like, I was young, and he looked at me and he said, "Will you please stop that?" And I said, well, I started flirting with him again. He said, well, you need to understand, here, I can be a lady. And I was like, okay, you set me straight. We're ladies.
What do you think is one moment or period of time that's particularly important to the history of Mary's Place?
The unity. Basically, what you get from Mary's Place is what we put into it, regardless of what anybody tells us what we can't do. And I remember I used to have to face up with people telling us that we can't do this, we can't do that, and hearing no, 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 and then I'd be sitting there talking to them while the other ladies were doing it. And that's what made the place go around. Somebody would bring in a little bit of yarn, somebody would bring in some oil, somebody actually could cook me some breakfast and serve me. You know, it's the little things that help. One lady used to drive a truck up the hill to go get us bread. And I remember her going to the mayor's office with us one day when they said you can't go. And I said, "Oh yes, I can." And they were gonna have us just stand there and hold a sign and no, don't say anything at all. No, 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 no. You can't speak. You can't say anything. You just stand there with the sign. And I was like, I can't take this anymore. I said, you got to look at these guys when they say, anybody want to talk to us? Anybody want to speak? And I said, yes, you got to look at this lady. She drives up and down that hill and she brings us bread with her own fuel. And her son actually earned his brownie points, or not brownie points, but as a, what are they called? That not the Salvation Army, but he earned his stars as a Boy Scout, carrying soil to the ladies as we volunteered to feed the trees near a school one day. And the mayor, I told, when they asked us, what do you want from us? I said, we need about $1 million. And I don't know what the grant was, but we got a grant for 10 years shortly after that.
You're awesome. How has Mary's Place changed over the years?
Oh, Mary's Place has grown in spirit and in breadth. And we've earned and gained some attention because we've kept it clean, we've kept it organized, we keep coming back, we've reeled in people to help pay for it. And that was a big thing when the city council agreed to fund us for 10 years. And we got this place for 10 years. So then Mayor Nichols even gave us a kitchen. So now we have the means to feed 120 women. I remember one day I'm sitting on the bus and I have all my trinkets and doodads that I got at Mary's Place, the Bomb Mary's, quote unquote, the store where we earn points. And I said real loud, I just cleaned the stalls for 120 women, and I'm tired. But look what they gave me. You know, I got these jeans that I'm wearing today. I got those for free from Mary's Place, but I earned them from washing tables and things like that. So it gives you a little bit of pride. You know, the newer things are we come a long way, because I remember the donations used to be free for all, and it was a literal tug and war over who got what. So we came up with the Bob Mary's idea, and we only switched it from Bob Mary's because it's not really the bond, and we wanted to be more legal. But now we just earn our points, and it's a little more organized, and we can take a little pride in ourselves for being there and doing our part.
What do you think about the work Mary's Place is doing now with families and the family shelters?
Oh God, it's beautiful. I know that I don't have my family with me now. They're all adults, but I've heard that they found another child day center for them, where it's special for them. But we do still have it open to families here. It's just not as oriented for families. It's more for single ladies. But we had a lady come in with her baby to church today, and it was a beautiful thing. And I remember a while back we had this little girl, and there was some children in the other room, but the little girl was being guarded by her parent. The mother was just so adorable because she kept reaching her leg over, and then as fast as the baby got 2 feet away, she got her leg in the way, and she was up there, and she was just all over her without even thinking about it. And one time the mother's leg didn't come out, and the little baby turned around and butted the person behind her because she started getting into that 2 foot radius. And he was so cute, just like a little basketball player. And we were making, I think it was gingerbread houses. And there was a little boy sitting with us, and he had a marshmallow. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I go, yeah. And he ran over there with that marshmallow, and he pulled it open, put it in his hand. And he opened it up like it was the most beautiful piece of breaking bread you ever seen in your life. She was so delighted. The mom let her have the marshmallow. It was beautiful.
Anything else that you want to share with us about the history of Mary's Place for this project?
It is a beautiful thing to walk into Mary's Place. And it used to be a tug of war over everything because we were so poor. It was just, you didn't know who was who or what's what. And now to walk into Mary's Place, and we've got all these people coming in here to offer us phones, to offer us medical coverage, to offer us even a bag, even with somebody's logo on it, was for free. And here you can have that. And the other ladies are like, I have my own. No worries. It's not as tit for tat as it used to be. It's more plentiful.